Marisa, one of the issue I can always see that that many foreign investor want to come to America, but their first question is, what is the best way to start business here? So, does your company help them set up a business as well? Its registration process, or and also what kind of business do you recommend for the people living in Pakistan or other countries or India or Latin America?
Absolutely, yes. Our firm, Akerman, or my firm, Akerman, is a multidisciplinary firm. So we do offer corporate advice, litigation, any type of assistance. We even have tax attorneys. So any type of legal issues that any investor would need, we offer it for our clients. We have more than 100 years experience in doing that. So any issues that do come up, we can always, if we don't handle it in the firm, then we would find someone locally that could handle it. And the type of business is a very interesting question because it's something everyone asks me. And I've always said, and this is what I always say into the future, is that find something that you're familiar with. Don't just go for what's the best deal in a business. If you're not familiar with the business you're buying, then even if it's the best deal, it's not going to go well. And I have seen many investors fail at this because they found a good deal, but it wasn't something that they particularly know. And what happens is if that fails, then you have to get rid of the company through a foreclosure or something, and then your green card, your investor visa suffers because of that. The way EB5 works, there's two ways you can get a green card under the EB5 program. One is a direct investment, and the other one is an investment through a regional center. The direct investment would be that I would go to a factory, buy that factory, create 10 jobs, more than the jobs that are already there. Excuse me. I create 10 additional jobs, or I start my own factory and create 10 jobs. That's the direct EB5 investment. You can also do what's called an indirect EB5 investment, and that is done by choosing a regional center. Regional centers are, for example, let's say we want to start a regional center. We would petition to USCIS saying that we want to do clinics all over Florida, let's say spas or clinics or something like that. And so USCIS would say, okay, all medical clinics in this area, you're going to have that regional center for it. So I have a regional center. And with that regional center, I can then create projects. So I can open one up in Orlando, I can open one up in Key West, I can open different ones, different clinics, and there are those projects underneath that regional center. A big kind of disclaimer or caveat about choosing a regional center. When I started practicing, there were only 3 regional centers in the country. Now there's, I think, over 700. Getting or using EB5 funds from EB5 investors is a very good opportunity for businesses because they pay less interest to that loan they're getting from an EB5 investor than they would to a bank. So it's very beneficial to them. So you really have to look at the track record of that regional center. You have to ask them, how many projects have you had? How many people have gotten the green card? How many people have had the condition removed, which is the second card? And how many people have citizenship? And most importantly, how many people have gotten their money back? So you have to ask all those questions and do your research, because the great thing about this country is that any investment looks great. They look great. I mean, we have great entrepreneurs in this country, and we are very fortunate here. So you can be lured into a fantastic investment, and it was a fantastic investment, but because it did not comply with the immigration rules, which could be something like a reporting requirement that we have to do every year with immigration, or something very simple, then it fails. And then not only do you not get the green card, but you don't get your money back.
That if someone invests 1 million in a government regional center, when will that investor get his money back? And what if projects fail? Will the investor also lose his visa or her visa?
Yes. When the investor looks over the documents of the investment, those documents will let the investor know when the project can return the money back to the to the investor. They're loan based. Most of them are loan based, not equity based. Equity based means I am the owner of that company forever. Loan based means me as an EB5 investor, I'm loaning the money to the project. And many of those projects have also city funds, county funds, state funds, federal funds. So when all those loans start getting paid back to the government, and then the investor starts getting their money back because everything, let's say it's a construction project. So then the investor starts getting the money back. But generally, according to USCIS regulations, the investor is not allowed to receive the funds back until that money has been sustained, and that's the word in the regulation, for at least 2 years while they maintain their money in the project. So even if the project, and I've had situations where it was a construction project and they finished it in 1.5 years. So my investor is wondering, well, what can I do? They're returning my money to me. What do I do? Well, if they take that money back, then before the 2 years of sustainment, then they could risk not getting the green card. So what many projects do, or regional centers, is something called redeploy, where they move it from one project to another, just so the investor can have the sustainment and not lose the green card.
Oh, okay, I got it. So what is your recommendation? People should find business through your company, or they should invest in government regional center? What is your advice to those people who are really looking to move?
Absolutely. What happens if anyone comes to me first asking about an E2 visa, then I start asking them questions. What are you familiar with? What would you like to invest in? I always ask my clients, if you had your citizenship, American citizenship right today, what would you want to do in the future? And that's how I can tell what type of visa the person has, because as I mentioned, immigration will cater to the investor. We have many visas, and that's what the immigration laws are about. Now in EB5, also, if someone says, no, I don't want to work in the US, I just want a green card, I'm very happy in my country because I make a lot of money and I don't want to pay worldwide income because we have very high taxes in the US, then what we do is I tell them, well, these are certain projects. As an immigration attorney, I'm not allowed to recommend investments because I don't have that license to do that. All I can tell them is, look, I've had green cards given to my clients from these projects. These projects have been going on for 20 years. This regional center, I have clients who've gotten their citizenship afterwards, have gotten the money back. That's all the immigration attorney can do. So if someone comes to me and say, well, what about this project? I can let them know, oh, yes, I've worked them with them before, and they're very responsible. So though I cannot tell them which EB5 project to choose, I can let them know the reputation of the managers of that regional center and kind of guide them into a project that they would be happy with. And of course, that would be only my immigration advice, certainly not an investment advice.
You are watching Capital TV Washington, the best South Asian TV channel in North America.